Hey, folks, my guest today is Tamas. He's the founder and CEO of Seon. He started the company with his co founder when they were still students in university and built it from scratch. His personal experience has sparked an interest in fraud prevention, and his vision is to build an innovative go to solution for online businesses affected by fraud. Tamas, are you ready to take us to the top?
Hey everyone, thanks for having me, Nathan. Yes, of course I'm ready.
What's your personal experience? Did somebody rip you off or what?
Yeah, it's very similar. So with my co-founder Benson, we have launched a crypto exchange during our university years. It was a couple of years back, and we actually faced fraud issues ourselves. So we tried to solve the problem ourselves, but we couldn't find an efficient solution. We have decided to develop a tool in-house and then pivoted into Sion, and now here we are getting ready for our Series B.
Very cool. Okay, so you mentioned Series B, so you've raised some capital. How much have you raised to date?
We have raised so far 13 million USD.
1 3 or 3 0?
1 3.
1 3. Okay, and I guess break that down for me. When did you raise the first round?
The first round was when we have started the company, so about 4 years ago, when we have formed the firm, and then we have raised 500,000 as a seed investment, and then we've done bridge round of 1 million, and then we have.
What year was the 1 million?
The 1 million was 2019.
Okay.
Yes, and then we raised 10 million euros, and it was about a year ago.
In 2021.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. And so I guess help me understand the need for the 10 million euros. Why did you need to raise capital to grow the business?
In one hand, we have opened our first international office here in London, where I'm based at, and as well as we have expanded to US. So we have opened an office in Austin and to Indonesia, Jakarta, where we have in both this location a business development office.
Interesting. Okay, tell us more about the product. So who's paying for this, and what are they using it for?
We work with some of the largest neobanks, such as Revolut, Nubank. We work with subscription services such as Patreon. We work with online gambling companies, online lending companies, BNPL companies, so like Afterpay. And what they use the tech for is basically based on someone's email address or phone number. We can associate your digital profiles to one single data point. And then we provide an API access so our clients can send through these data points, get the enriched data, take it back, and make better decisions based on those.
And in December alone, how many times was your API hit? How many API processes?
It was more than 90 million.
9 or 90?
90.
90 million just in December of last year, 2021.
That's right.
That's incredible. And how that's across how many companies who are hitting the API?
Well, we have just close to 200 direct customers, but since we have some payment gateway customers, we are protecting more than 5,000 online businesses out there.
I see. How many partners do you have that are one to many?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, so you have 200 direct customers and you reach another 4,500 or 4,800 through partners. How many of those partners do you have? The gateways?
We have about 4 or 5 gateways, so not too many.
I see. Okay. So those 4 or 5 gateways bring you another 4 or 5,000 sort of indirect customers.
That's right. Yes.
I see. And how does the majority of the 90 million monthly API calls come from the payment gateways or your 200 direct customers?
It's more the rest, so the bigger ones. These are all small long tail merchants. The majority of the revenue and the API cost comes from bigger businesses.
Oh, what's going on there, YouTube? Good to see you guys. Now imagine this. You love watching these interviews with SaaS founders, but imagine if we took all of the valuation data out from over 2,807 interviews I've done manually. Saves you a lot of time. Well, we've done this. We've built it into the beautiful interface inside of FounderPath. Check this out. I'll show you how you can access this in a second, but you log in, you connect your Stripe account, you see your valuation real time, you can see what it changed over the past 88 days, and even set goals for valuation this year. Now, the secret to valuation is there's many different ways to value a SaaS business. So the reason you're going to see 3 or 4 different valuations inside of your FounderPath dashboard, this is all free by the way, is because depending on who's doing the buying of your SaaS company, you're going to get a different valuation. A VC is going to pay a different valuation. Private equity firm is different. If you're going to do a minority sale, that's different. And if you sell the whole business, that's a different valuation. You can see all those when I hover over here. Right. So the teal is what a VC would pay. Yellow is what private equity. And red is if you sold the whole thing outright. Now, what's cool about this is not built off random data. Again, you guys hear these interviews on YouTube. All these data are built from real-time valuation data points founders share with us on the show. So Traction, 1.2 million, seed round, 3.7 raise. They sold 22% of their business. Go in here and filter by the event. Maybe you only want to see companies that have sold the whole business. Well, here are a bunch that have been acquired, the valuation and the multiple. Maybe you're going out right now and you're raising your seed round. Well, go in here and look at all this recent seed deals that went down, what they raised, what valuation they raised at, and what percent that they sold. There's never been a larger data set of SaaS valuations than what you can get now inside of FounderPath, and we're thrilled to bring it to you. All right, we're going to go back to the YouTube video here in a second, but if you want to check this tool out, if you want to jump in and sign up, you can check it out for free to get your valuation at this link, founderpath.com/products/valuations. Or if you go to founderpath.com and hover over products, click on get your valuation here and go ahead and sign up to give it a whirl. Again, all that valuation data live right inside the platform. I hope to see you there. All right, let's jump back into the interview. But are the bigger businesses the ones that use you directly or the gateways?
To use us directly.
Directly. Okay, so the 200 direct customers, that's your biggest asset, your biggest customer base, your most revenue.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's right.
And how do you price for this? I mean, obviously per API hit sort of pricing is very popular these days. You know, look at Snowflake and others, but how do you do it?
Very similar. It's usage based. So we pay, we charge our clients a micro fee for each of the API calls. And then it's post-paid, such as AWS does. It's very straightforward. We try to do the opposite than what everyone else does in our industry.
So it's a micro fee per API call. And then what else?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. So how micro? Are we talking like a tenth of a cent or something like that?
It's between 4 to 8 cents.
Oh, okay. So got it. So 4 to 8 cents. And has it always been that way, or have you moving sort of up or down market?
No, it's always been like that, and we never raised prices since the beginning.
Okay, got it. So 4 to 8 cents per API call. And do you make people buy like a number of credits ahead of time, or do they pay as they go?
Pay as you go. So this is why it's so friction free. So we always post a bill our clients, so they don't have to top up anything. They can just use the system, and then next month, beginning of it, we charge them.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. And so when you look at on average the 200 direct clients, they all obviously hit the API different amounts of times. But what's your sweet spot? What would you say the average customer is paying you per month?
The average, the ACV is around right now like $55,000 a year, so about $4,500 US a month, I would say.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense. And they're not committing those contracts though, right? They're basically paying as they go.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Very cool. Give me more of the backstory here. So you launched in 2018. You've scaled. Now, do you have a co-founder?
Yep. My co-founder, Bence, he was my university friend. He is a COO of the company. He's based in Budapest.
Interesting. And did you guys just split equity 50-50 at the start?
No, it was different. we invested different upfront, so we have come to an agreement between us, but we are both happy with this agreement.
Okay, so you own more, or he owns more?
Yeah, I think since I'm the CEO and I have started with the investment as a bootstrap investment, I own more.
Yeah, I think it's important, right? So just to be clear, it sounds like you put in some of your own money at the beginning to help get the business going, and because you put in money and your other co-founder maybe didn't put in as much or put in none at all, you got more equity at the start.
Yep, that's correct.
I see. Okay, now you're scaling nicely, right? So 200 customers out of $4,500 per month ARPU. I mean that would put you at about $900,000 per month in revenue. Is that right?
Yep, we are over that actually.
Okay, over that. Are you past $1 million a month yet?
Not yet, but very close.
Very cool. That would be a fun thing to celebrate. If you're doing about $900,000 per month right now in revenue, where were you exactly a year ago? Do you remember?
We were one third of it.
One third. Okay. So where does most of that growth come from? Is it the same 200 customers pinging the API more expansion revenue, or is it brand new customers altogether?
We've got lots of brand new customers. So we have almost double our client base, but as well as we see healthy growth from the existing clients. So our NDR metrics are very good.
What is the NDR? How far above 100%?
It's very close to 200, actually.
Okay, about 200%. Yeah, that's great. Obviously, it doesn't surprise me you're able to raise this much capital with that kind of NDR. Do you have any gross revenue churn?
Not really. It's like 5% a year. We don't see businesses switching from us to other tools. What we see is they cease to exist, usually due to some business continuity issues such as COVID and so on.
So Tamas, 5% gross revenue churn means 105% expansion for a total NDR of about 200%.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Do you have a game plan for driving that expansion revenue? In other words, customer success reps that are incentivized with expansion, or how do you do that?
Yes, we have a bonus scheme in place for customer success, but since it's a usage-based pricing, we usually grow together with our clients.
For other people listening, using a transaction-based pricing model or a per API call, per seat, whatever, they're thinking about bonus plans for their CSMs as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you structured your CSM bonus plan?
Yeah, it's we set up some base numbers for the expansion based on historical data, and then anything top of that, they get a chunk of the revenue, which is expanded on top of the average expansion. So it's not too much, but it's it's very motivational, I would say, and it's something that I was not thinking before, but our chief commercial officer actually has came up with the idea, and we have implemented just recently, and actually works very well. So I can recommend to all the startup founders out there.
So for 2022, you just did this, right? So what does a CSM have to get above in terms of MDR before they can start earning a bonus?
Oh, that's a good question. I would have to look up. I can't say on top of my mind.
What do you think it is? Do you maybe have a range or an estimate?
I can look up right now.
Okay.
It's in a sheet just now.
I love founders with models in front of them. They're my favorite founders.
Always. Yeah. Net expansion. Yeah, should be at least 2% uplift from previous month. That's base, and then they earn also the same amount of commission based on that. But yeah, it's a new scheme. So as well as I have.
So Tamas, if I'm one of your CSMs and I get $100,000 of revenue from last month, those customers to upgrade to about 102,000 this month, that's the minimum target. But if I get them to upgrade to 110,000, so there's 8,000 above target, how much as a CSM would I get in commission on that extra 8K?
I think it's a good question. I think it would be like around 5%. It's a bit like it's deal based. So 2% net expansion, get 2% commission. So if the net expansion, let's say like 50 grand, they get 2% of it, which is 1,000. And if it would be 5%, let's say 100,000, we get 5%, which is 5,000. So
one time, or is it a recurring commission?
It's recurring.
For how long?
It's paid monthly, and that's a good question. I think at least for 1 year.
1 year. Yeah, that makes sense. Very cool. I'm seeing more and more founders do this. And so thanks for the transparency. Mm-hmm. I think this is another good data point for folks to learn from. So, okay, your per API billing is proving to be very effective. Your product is very strong. People are binging the API more, which is driving your expansion revenue through the roof. You've chosen to raise some capital. Managing dilution as you raise is obviously very important, right? So a year ago, you said you were at about $300,000 a month in revenue or $3.6 million run rate. That's when you did your 10 million Series A, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And most founders in a Series A are selling like 10 to 20% of the business. Were you sort of in that same range?
Yeah, just in between.
Okay. Okay, cool. So what would that put you at? Did you break $100 million valuation post money?
No, not yet.
Close to it?
Somewhat close in US dollars. Yeah. But this time for the B, we will be, of course, exceeding that pretty
So
much.
you're raising right now. It sounds like the B. Why is now the right time to raise?
Um, it's we had 2 very strong months in terms of revenue and expansion. So I think that's a good momentum to go on the market. I think it's also the climate still is very good, and as I have explained some of our metrics. Then it's actually like very healthy. So I think this is the right time. We still have like more than a year runway, so we are not in a position where we would need cash quickly, but we are also feeling that since we have 2 very strong months, it's the right time.
Yeah, that makes it. Timing is very important. So how much are you targeting to raise in the Series B?
uh yeah, it's hard to say. We'd like to rely also on the guidance from the investor. We have some plans, but I wouldn't share them up front as long as the term sheet is not signed and the money is not lodged in. But yeah, it will be announced very soon. Actually,
Around what?
it will be announced very soon.
Oh,
But
well, I mean, the raise process though takes a while. I mean, so like, I mean, I guess what I'm asking is, are you trying to do like a 20 to $30 million Series B, or more like a 60 to $80 million Series B?
yeah, it's the latter. Yeah.
It's more like 60 to $80 million Series B.
Something
And
like
what
that. Yeah.
valuation? I mean, do you think you can command like a 400, 500 million post money valuation raising that much, or no?
I think it's definitely doable.
You think what?
It's definitely doable.
Okay, so if you raise it like a 70 million Series A, you think you can get up to like 150, $180 million Series B, something like that.
Yeah, well, we raised 10 for our A in euros, and then this time it's going to be hopefully at least 6 to 8 times multiplied. So our B will be around 60 to 80. That's what we are aiming at, but it's still ongoing, so I wouldn't.
Well, what I'm trying to get though, Thomas, is how you're managing dilution. So raising 60 million on 120 million valuation, you're selling a third of the business. That's pre-money,
Oh,
right?
no. No, I mean, valuation would be like, of course, we would dilute the same amount as before. So standard dilution, between 15 and 20%.
Got it. So you think you can go out and command like a 400-ish, $420 million pre-money valuation, something like that?
Yeah.
40x multiple.
Well, that's what you see on the market today is quite insane. Like valuations are multiplied, are multiplies of the between 40 to 80. We see 80, and we'll see where we end up. But I'm quite optimistic, so I hope for the best.
Yeah, no, there's a comp from last month or last week that closed Cognizant, 25 million bucks in revenue, about doubling year over year, raised at a $436 million valuation. So, we're seeing 20 to 80x multiples all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, good luck. You have to let us know if that sort of goes through. Now, that capital, what would you use it on? I mean, dilution's dilution, right? You're going to sell 10, 20% of the business. Why do you need it?
We would like to open some more offices in one hand. But of course, you are mainly increasing the number of teammates in our headquarters, which is in Budapest, Hungary. That's where we keep the whole R&D and product development. So we would like to add there almost 100 new engineers. The team right now is there's 140 people there.
How many engineers?
About 70 currently.
70. Okay, very cool.
Yep.
And just to close out the sales questions for you. So how many folks on your sales team carry a quota right now?
All of them.
How many?
We have about 10 BDMs, and we have the same amount of SDRs. So we got 20, and we got of course BDRs too, but they don't have a quota really.
So 10 carry a quota.
No, I mean like the BDMs have a quota for the bonus scheme, and of course the SDRs have just a monthly minimum quota.
I see, got it. And then how many CSMs do you have?
I think it's also 10 now. Yeah, we're constantly recruiting, so.
Got it. So between SDRs, BDRs, AEs, and CSMs, you've got about 40 people on the sales team.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite book.
No rules.
No what?
No rules.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Yeah, of course. Like Jeff Bezos.
Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building Xeon?
Favorite online tool, let's say Figma.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
8 hours.
And what's your situation, Tamas? Married, single, kids?
I have a partner, but not married.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 27 years old.
Last question. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
I'm still 20. So
No, when you were 20, 20 years old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm a bit older than that. Something I wish I would know or I would done.
Just something you wish you knew.
I wish I knew. Yeah, well, like investing in talent acquisition is more important than I would have thought back then. But yeah, it's a journey. We're all learning, right?
Guys, Sound.io launched in 2018. They help large neobanks and Patreon and lenders quickly verify accounts. They had over 90 million API calls just last month hitting their system, right, to verify a bunch of these identities. They grew from $300,000 a month in revenue a year ago to $900,000 a month today, about a $10.8 million run rate, 200 direct customers, another 4 to 5,000 through payment gateways they partner with. They raised a $10 million Series A last year, sold between 10 and 20%. Now raising, call it like a 60 to 80 million Series B at a much higher valuation. We'll see what happens there. A team of 140, 70 of which are engineers. Tamas, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you too. Take care.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.